the third person.
That is Mr. Sheye.
Hello, can you?
He's a Nigerian and he
Hello,
lives
can you?
in Nigeria. We can hear you. Well, you're coming in from WhatsApp, right? So I can hear you. Yes. So there are three of us here.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. There are three of us here, and Bishop only has a few minutes, and we're live already. So let's just have the conversation as we can. It's a pity we're having technical problems. So I'm just going to open my live and see what's happening. All right. So I just want to quickly bring some things to our attention. I have some questions here. I want to say to you, Bishop, as a man who leads a congregation, what do you say to the fact that people are now pointing fingers at church again with this incident? Because people are saying that's a gospel singer. If we cannot even trust gospel singer, who then can we trust? Then I'll have you go first, and then Sheye, I would like to hear what you have to say about it. So
I thought Sheye would have gone first.
Okay, Sheye, can you go first then?
I can't hear you.
You didn't hear me?
I'm having serious. No. This routine sound echo and interference. I can't even hear what you're saying.
Really?
But we're hearing you. But I'm hearing you loud and clear, very clear. In fact, you're clearer to me than Ozone.
Than the host.
Yes, the host. Sorry.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah. So Bishop, but you can hear him. Can you hear him?
I think yes, I can hear you now. I think why I'm having that problem is because of like using two apps at the same time.
Okay, if you can just respond to that. But you know what, Bishop?
No, I didn't get your question.
Bishop, let me let you respond to that, because I'm addressing it to you because you lead a congregation, right? Sheye is not leading a congregation, so let me not have him speak about that. Maybe later on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I always get surprised when the church is the butt of every joke, every negative event. The church is always put to task. Well, but again, it shows that the responsibility of the church is plenty or humongous. Now, to respond directly to this issue, the church is a place where God works. The church is a part of God's kingdom on the earth. And all manner of things are in the church. There was a time that the sons of God came to present themselves to God. And the Bible recorded that the devil also came along. The devil is created by God. Can you mute yourself, please?
Okay, I think that noise was coming from Sheye's side.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
So the sons of God came to present themselves, and the Bible records that the devil also showed up. What that means is that in the presence of God, like the church, there are all manner of things, including demonic powers and forces. They also come there. So the fact that somebody says, I'm a pastor, or I'm a minister, or a music minister, is not what makes us relax with the person. What makes us relax is that we see the fruits of the Spirit of God in the life of the individual.
Awesome. Right.
It's not that somebody says I am, and therefore everything he does we accept. No. What we accept are the products, the manifestations of the Spirit of God in his life. This is what brings us to a place of saying, this man is of God. So the point I'm making therefore is there are all kinds of people in the church, and the only way we can know those who are God's are what they manifest.
Right. Thank you, Bishop. Shaya, do you want to speak on that? I will say, oh, he's bounced out of the studio. So the reason why I would like to talk about this is really because I want us to get to a point where we begin to realize that we should deal with people as people. Let's deal with human beings as human beings. Because many people have turned around and said, I married that man, he said he was a pastor, and look at what the things that he's doing. And you can see that this person is nothing, this person doesn't even seem to have any iota of, or even any idea of godliness in their life. So unfortunately, because people watch and have gotten into the idea, the mindset that when a person has a title from church, then I'm going to expect that they're going to be this type of person. And even without vetting the person, they quickly decide to assume things about the person. And do you know that it happens even in the opposite? Because these things have happened for so long now, a lot of people have come to the point where they also now say, once a person comes along and they say that they are pastor this or evangelist this, I don't even want to have anything to do with that person because these people cannot be trusted. Isn't it unfortunate? Right? It's unfortunate. So, but I think that
No. Hold on. I think you are what we call ethnocentrism in social sciences.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you can't conclude like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if somebody comes tomorrow and says he's a medical doctor, what do? Do you just throw yourself at the person?
The truth is that, do you remember, Bishop, one time I said I had a confession to make, right?
Yes.
The confession is this. I'll make that confession today now. Do you know that if I hadn't known you before I started thinking, because I'm one of those people who thinks like that now, you know, and so many people that I speak to now think like that. The moment a person says, even when people send me messages or friend requests and I see evangelist something, pastor this, I don't even want to have anything to do with the person. So first, I quickly go and look at the person's profile and see if this person sounds reasonable, you know. And unfortunately, see, if I didn't know you before I developed this mindset, then I would never have gotten to really know you, right? So just as you said, the church is like, as people say, it's like a hospital where all sorts of people come in. So not everybody everybody is not the same. So so people need to now get to a point where stop giving an excuse saying this person told me that he is a pastor or he's a Christian, and yet look at what they did. Can we now look at people as human beings? Shaya, say something.
All right. Good evening, everybody. And then good evening to my bishop. Good evening, sir. Yes. The truth is that I am not disappointed by it. So I expect it to toe that line of thought, and which is highly reasonable. And then to our answer, how do we say this? In the place of law, even when recognizing status, the society recognizes status, family recognizes. So I am saying, when somebody says, I'm a man of God, there's something that is expected from God. I mean, when you are saying you are a Christian, it's the same thing applicable when you are a medical professional. There are certain things that are expected. So if people tend to relax around the clergy, even though they have faith, even though they trust, I think is a normal thing. Except the fact that somebody like me, most especially Pentecostal clergy, anytime I hear stop, my antenna will be up. I will be extra. So because I have noticed that in the name of clergy, you will lose God, you will not be at your full element, and you are likely to fall prey. I hope you understand what I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand that. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Do you understand, Bishop? Yes, I do. I do, but I I want to I want to accept what you're saying with a caveat. Okay. The caveat is this. If you go to a hospital and they take you through some processes and present you before a medical doctor, your antenna is down because you expect that the hospital system must have subjected this person to certain checks, as a result of which they are satisfied that he's a doctor or a medical doctor. If I come to a law office and I'm talking to a man that's seated across opposite me, I am assuming that before he set up this office, there are processes that present him to me. So my confidence is in those processes. Now, when I meet him on the road where there are no structures, and he tells me he's a doctor or a lawyer, I will first of all accept, but I will be looking for signs that show me that the person I'm dealing with has gone through the processes that qualify him to answer the name he presents. It's just the truth. I can't just meet you on the street. I say my name is Bishop. Right. And simply because I said Bishop, you give me $1 million.
So what you're saying in effect is that we should take personal responsibility and stop just accepting things and people on face value like that.
Exactly. Right? You need evidence. If you come into a structure, for instance, a church, and you see me on the altar, you can assume that the structure that presented me there, I've done a few checks about my person, as a result of which they allowed me to be there. So when I then begin to manifest something wrong, then you can begin to question both the structure and the man.
So I'll bring up something else here, because Diaspora Lounge talks about conscious empowerment, and that's really what I want us to focus on. That's really why we're having this conversation on this particular topic. So the one of the things that you'll notice is that, at least in Nigeria, I know that, or let's even say generally, people say, touch not my anointed. It's to the point where even when we see somebody who is a popular, call the person a popular emoji, man of God, and accusations are brought forward saying that this person did this or did that. We're talking about accusations now. Or even when you see directly that the person is doing something that you can see this person is selling soap and fish and sand and everything and telling people that this thing will do things for them. And if you talk, people will say, no, touch not my anointed. And you shouldn't say anything about this person because he's a man of God. If you do that, you are doing the prophet harm and you're going to get curses and punishments from God. So even the congregation will come, even if you say this person has done this very horrible acts, they will say, no, do not speak about it, do not speak against it, take it to God, let God judge it. Isn't this now, doesn't this now mean, and you never see a church, a well-known church or man of God coming out and saying, okay, we hear that if people are saying this person did this, we are going to investigate it. Instead, we just hear, do not say anything, do not speak against a man of God. Isn't that part of the reason why people feel as if we can give these people as much benefit without worry, because it's almost like don't even question. And under that guise, some people have told people to do things that clearly a normal person will not tell you to take off your clothes or to do certain things. But when they tell you that because they're coming in the name of MOG, the person feels like somehow they suspend their minds. You know, it happens with lawyers and doctors. That's why they say that you owe your clients that responsibility, that fiduciary responsibility of not taking advantage of the fact that they're looking up to you in that setting, right?
Of course, in a similar way, I'll give you an example. I hear there's a law that forbids a pastor from benefiting from the estate of
The member of the congregation.
a member of the congregation upon this death, because the member's state of mind is more favorable to you. So they can write off so many things just because you are his pastor. So we have the same burden. But let me tell you the problem in the church. The Orthodox churches have come to a place where their structure today, over time, are a bit more organized. They have their problems, but their structure can rise up to protect them. Unlike the Pentecostal church, where anybody just says God calls him, is not under any structure and just begins to carry on. Even when they begin to do things that are unusual, there is hardly any structure that calls them to order. Now, let me give you people the benefit of an experience I've had having been in the church structure for a long time. When Ebed Damina, I will imagine that you have heard about Ebed Damina.
Mm-hmm.
When Ebed Damina began to teach all his teaching,
yes,
there's a meeting we used to hold in Papa Deboye's office every 90 days.
okay.
So Ebed Damina was summoned to come to that meeting, to come and defend what he was saying. In a few of his messages, he had made references to that place where he was summoned.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
You've heard that, have you?
Yes.
I was in that meeting myself.
Right.
Now, what we tried to do was to question the concept of hyper grace. Hyper grace is the teaching they are coming up with now that says that even the sins you will commit in the future has been forgiven. That Christ cannot die a second time. He is already dead. So the price for sin has been paid. Now, and therefore, if a man commits fornication or adultery, it's already forgiven. So it will have no effect on him.
Okay.
Now, but some of us who are of the old school, which was what happened that day. I remember it was Pastor Charles Achonwa, who is a very old hand in the ministry, that first raised his hand and said, I have a question. Are we saying that there is no punishment for sin anymore? Are we saying that anybody, doesn't matter how you live, you go to heaven once you have accepted Christ? It was Charles Achonwa, it was Papa Adeboye, who said you were born in the hottest part of hell in that meeting. If you think you can live anyhow, simply because Jesus' death covers all sins. Now, what am I bringing to the table in this conversation? I'm trying to make it clear to you people that for churches that come under authority, for people who know the dangers of running alone and are saying it is unsafe, no matter how sure you are of yourself, it's unsafe to be unaccountable. And therefore, I'm a part of a structure that can hold me responsible. Now, those are the people that are safer to deal with. When you see people who have no regard for constituted authority like PFN, like CAN, and of course in the Catholic Church, their own is clear. In the Anglican Communion, their own is clear. So those are the people that you must scrutinize what they say because they have no sense of accountability. Anything I teach here, any comment I make in the public space, like when I'm on television and all that, I am conscious that people can ask me any questions. Are you still there?
Right. Yes, we're here. I'm here. Yeah. So, Shay, do you want to say something?
I know. It's just that I think we have done enough of switching off the lane. You know,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Because I think the topical issue is on the evangelist. I mean the musician that people go for.
Okay, so you're saying because we're not talking directly about him.
I'm saying we should. We should talk about it.
Okay, yeah, we should talk about him. But I want, because Bishop doesn't have enough time, I wanted him to weigh in on the idea of, this person who is supposed to come from church has killed somebody. So I wanted him to just weigh in on.
The meeting has actually started. You can see that there was a call that came in. But let me make this last point. There was also a Catholic church where during this crossover service, a Catholic priest shot and killed a member of his church.
Yes. I saw that in passing.
Is it not as bad as the evangelist, the praise and worship leader who killed his girlfriend?
Yeah, they're all equally, yeah.
Okay.
Equally guilty.
So you've not heard this, Oga?
I saw it in passing. I haven't actually followed the story.
So my question was, how did the Catholic priest have a gun and then carry it into crossover service and then actually shot and kill somebody? How would you look at that? So the point I'm making in effect is that there are errors everywhere. The church is a human organization, but it is a God's working place. God works there.
Okay.
But being human, it is subject to a lot of human weaknesses. Anyway, sir. Yes, sir. Before you go, sir, I think what is actually wrong is that the church is meant to be a pace setter.
The sanctuary?
The church is meant to be a moral pattern mechanism. You understand? The church is meant to transform the society. Not society affecting the church. No. That is what we are having. Why am I saying this? We look at it very well. Like our country, for instance, Nigeria, the reason that we have, because of the pressure, because of the demand for money, because of every other thing that moral decadence, the society is rubbing off on the church. That's why you see people that the line between the society and the church is so blurry that you may not be able to see the line. You do understand what I'm saying? I do, very well. It shouldn't be that way. I agree with it, but scripture says that the Lord knoweth them that are his. Let them that name the name of the Lord depart from iniquity. You people that are lawyers tell us that buyer beware.
Actually, that's my own motto. I just want us to begin to take personal responsibility. For a long time.
same point. We're back to the same point.
Yes. For a long time, I sat on the side of saying, church, 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 church. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? But observing everything that's happening in life, I've come to the point where it's like, to me, my understanding of life now is that education, now I understand why those people that say that education and religion, in fact, those people say education is bad, is evil, right? And now I begin to understand it.
Education is a scam. Church is a scam.
Now I begin to understand it because what those two things have done is kind of subtly, subliminally take away natural reasoning from human beings, right? The reason why we put laws and theories and regulations in place are to help us as human beings because not everybody is going to be able to be objective and to use common sense. So truly, truly, those things are there as a guide for us. But if you come to look at it, you will find out that the people who still flout even those guides will be there, but there'll still be people who will flout them. So at the end of the day, it's almost as if even if those guys were not there, those who would not flout them, those who would do the right thing, would still do the right thing. However, now we have the law in place so that we know, okay, it was written here that you shouldn't do this. Now that you've done this, this is what you're going to face. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, right? What I'm trying to say is now, because it's like some people will not even use their common sense. It's now worse because they've been given theory.
I got to go.
You've got to go. Right.
I'm so sorry.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah. Thank you for even having the time to come in.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you for
So I
sharing.
will talk some more with our friend. Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk some more later. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. So do you understand what I'm saying, Share? So I just feel like it's almost as if the education and religion and even law, regulations, it's almost as if those things have made it such that some people will now just rely on those. So it's that if those things were not there, you will be using your common sense, right? And if you won't use your common sense, you will not make it. You will not survive because if you suddenly go and steal in somebody's house, they catch you there, they kill you.
I try to accept whatever you are saying, but I won't accept it in totality.
Why? What's your reason?
I love that. The assumption that people make, and the assumption is always is to assume that human being is a logical being.
I know.
You get what I'm saying?
I know.
We are not a logical being.
Because we're complex, so right?
It's a deliberate, meticulous effort. To be logical, you have to apply effort to get to that level. If you are saying this, okay, let's start from the book. Nobody that they will give birth to will be able to speak. Regardless, forget about somebody somewhere must teach that person. For you to use cutlery, somebody must teach you how to use cutlery. To read and write, somebody must teach you. That is not withstanding that you do not have inherent attributes. They are not enough to help you through life. So my point exactly is
because everybody isn't exposed to the same level of experiences and knowledge.
Beyond that, everything that you know. Okay, now let me help you out. To use sanitary pad, toiletries, brush your mouth, comb your hair, wear all these, wear normal garments, wear shoes. Some set of people upon themselves to do another steps. That's to tell you that we are not born with God.
I missed that. Some set of people took it upon themselves to do what?
Well, I said that's to tell that we are not born with logic. We were trained to be logical.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying that is that there's need for blueprint. There's need for laws. There are parameters that guide us in living our lives.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why you have a country that has constitution, you have this, and that does not mean. Now, this is where your point is very relevant. We do not have to rely on law alone. To rely on law alone, that means you are smart, you are intelligent, but you are not human. Because there's a level you get to, and you understand that, okay, law is law, there's human face to everything.
You're right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Say, for instance, somebody wants to put to bed, and the person is driving, and the person is not, number one, very heavy, they're not supposed to drive. But you don't know the circumstance, the woman is driving without seat belts. And you as a policeman now decide that, okay, well, you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Are you there?
I do.
So, that's not just my point, but just to tell you that those things needed to be there because we are not logical. You understand?
Yes.
We don't have to be rigid. Like rigid.
I wish the audio was better because I'm missing some of what you're saying. But yes, I see your points, and you made a lot of sense. I agree with you. So now you want to talk about Timileyin. Want to talk about it some more? What did you want to say?
No. Okay, you mean the guy?
The murder.
Anyway, we don't have to overstep some issues because whatever has happened is has happened at the foundation. If you're now to like make it feel like, oh wow, what is this? That we've not heard about it, then we are deceiving ourselves. You understand?
No, I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean?
I'm saying people just the statistics of lovers killing themselves in Nigeria.
Okay.
You'll be shocked.
Actually, I don't even think that. I don't know the version of the story that you saw, but I saw the first version where I believed. I was like, so this was a crime of passion, but it doesn't look like that anymore. I don't think so. I saw something else that it looks like this guy planned. He premeditated this thing, and it wasn't that story that he told.
Exactly.
Yes, it looks like he's actually. It looks like he's actually someone who was trying to make it in the sense of get money by all means. That's what it looks like.
So, well, you are very correct. That's what that was my conclusion. You understand? My conclusion may not be important because it's still ongoing, but that's my own conclusion too. But the truth is this: so long the society does not recognize process, so long the society does not recognize a young man or a young woman after school, after studying, trying to have this in life, or doing, you understand, trying to get a step up in life.
Yes.
You see, in this our current society, people will mock a young man.
Yes.
Having gone through school or gone through a training and try to like, okay, I've attained this. This is my next phase of life. This is how I'm going to go about it.
I understand what you're saying.
People will mock you.
I understand what you're saying. Secondly, but in addition to that, but I understand what you're saying. What you're trying to say is that we don't have a process that things are made difficult for young people, and so no wonder people are resorting to all these types of things. However, in this person's case, no, that can be a general thing. That can be a general thing.
No. What I'm saying is, anytime we are having a topical issue to discuss,
yes,
don't forget, even when we have a case study,
yes,
we are not limiting our arguments to the case study alone.
It's a good point that you brought up.
You understand what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying is this. This pressure needs to be stopped. You need to listen to social media. All these guys saying, if a guy does not give me whatever, I won't open my pants. If a guy does not do, you just listen to all those things that are like, wow. And then some of these pastors will be speaking prosperity and they tell you, you don't do anything to make money, there's nothing for you.
You know what we can do? What we can do is we can de-emphasize the pastors that are preaching, doing prosperity preaching, the ones that are telling people to bring tithe and offering. If you don't do that, you don't get blessings. We have to become people who de-emphasize the influence of another person or outsiders. I know we can't really remove the influence of society, but when we are seeing that, the truth really is that if I say it now, you will say no. We cannot. All of us will say the society influences a person, right? Which is true. It's not avoidable. But can we begin to now teach ourselves and teach even your children, the young ones that you have with you growing up? At the end of the day, no matter what happens with your environment, right? Try and take responsibility for yourself, because people are going to do things to you. People are going to do things to you that will traumatize you. You're going to have experiences from outside, from other places that are going to make things difficult for you and even make you have a certain outlook in life. But you have to come back and look within yourself and take strength from yourself. And don't try as much as possible to fight these external influences, right? Because if you're going to be listening to people are going to mock you because you don't have this, then it pushes you to go and do something. When we now catch you like this Timileyin has been caught now, if that was his issue, who is he going to? We're not going to listen to all those things. You are the one who is going to face the brunt. You're going to bear the brunt, right? And then, yes. And then I was going to say, as we're not talking about just that directly, I want to say, even if this girl, I don't think this girl was his girlfriend, but whether she was or wasn't, bottom line is this: if you get to meet someone, okay, before I even get onto that, we have access to the internet now. So even if you're in a society where things are not working, now you look at it, we have access to the internet. I can actually stay here and do something for someone that I don't know, far away, and the person will pay me, right? So why don't I start now? I can stop looking for a job in the present environment where I'm having difficulty finding a job. I have to develop a skill that I can begin to sell, that I can actually sell to anybody. If you have access to the internet and you're going to come there on TikTok to be dancing, you might as well do something that you're going to put out there that somebody would find your service. And have you even done that? If you do that and you haven't got anybody who is finding your service, that's one thing, because you can't get a snap of your fingers, right? But if you haven't done that and all you're relying on is going in the society where I can't get a job. Do you understand? If we take personal responsibility.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Hope there's no interference with my sound.
I can hear you. Oh dear. I can hear you. I can hear you.
What I was trying to say in essence is this. We run after mundane, infinitesimal, vanity, glance, glamour, all those things that are intangible, that does not affect life positively. So my point is this: There's something that there's something in philosophy they call cause and effect. If you don't treat the cause and if you focus on the effect, the occurrence will always be there. That's just my point. What I'm saying is, now, what I'm trying to say, to put it in the simplest and the clever perspective, was growing up, if any man should just emerge as a rich man without process, people will run away from such a man.
Exactly.
They will tell you his money is not clean.
But now nobody cares.
But these days, no one cares. How do you explain to 14-year-old boy, 14 years old, buying a pen?
Right. So,
and when I'm saying Benz, I'm talking about who is like a 50 million Benz?
Yeah, so all of us have to. So all of us have to stop. All of us have to consciously stop encouraging people that you don't know their source, their means of livelihood. Stop encouraging and praising them. Stop encouraging and praising them and following them on social media, right? And hyping them because if he has succeeded in selling several human heads and he showed up tomorrow with whatever, nobody will even be thinking about it. You see people following him, you see people praising him, wanting to take pictures with him and all that. I think everybody knows that. So why are we saying everybody knows that? Well, as you said, it's actually more difficult to be disciplined. It's more difficult to be disciplined, and as long as we do not make that kind of sacrifice and hard work to rein in ourselves, then we will continue to face and suffer from these things, right? You can.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Let me just give you a little point. That will help you. If a person is a teacher, private school teacher, do you know that Lagos landlord may not necessarily give you his house for you to rent?
Because they're afraid. Because they're afraid that they will owe in rent.
Exactly. Even when they don't know that, maybe as a teacher, maybe you work more than that, but they will assume and they will conclude and they will tell you, no, they do not want that.
Which means that we
cannot.
cannot.
They will prefer this or then they ask them to pay for 3 years, and to pay for 5 years.
So, which means that we cannot do away with wanting the society to be responsible, which comes back again to us holding our politicians and people in authority accountable, right? So we must always be able to hold them accountable.
Everybody should,
as well as ourselves. Yeah. So personal accountability and also holding the people in government accountable. But we cannot hold the people in government accountable because people are stuck praying. Always boils down to that at the end of the day, hoping and praying, and not realizing that the power already lies with you and God is not going to answer the prayer by suddenly doing something magical. So we end up with religion again.
Yes.
Isn't it? Because religion continues to foster hoping and praying and teaching it in the wrong way.
Well, we have used the right word. When you were talking about the negative influence of religion and some kind of education that we were exposed to, you understand? Religion just make you stop listening to
the audio, man, the audio, your audio.
Really?
Can you repeat that last thing and then we'll close?
Okay. So what I was trying to say is that you eat the right food. when you were talking about religion, that
It's suppressing reasoning.
Can you hear me?
I heard a bit.
Yeah, it helps your cognitive.
Yes. Right. Okay. That would be a conversation. That would be a conversation to have with someone like Bishop, who is in that line, so that we won't have.
I would love to hear you.
So that we won't have a biased and unbalanced conversation, right? Yes, because really, I think like that now. That's what I think now. That religion is suppressing common sense. So, but it will be better to hear it from someone who. Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining me on this. I'm going to close it now. It's a pity that with technical issues, our audio has been an issue. I know that it won't be the best for the ears, but we've done the best that we can with what we have available to us. Thank you, Mr. Adesheye, for joining me again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you to viewers. All right then. Bye-bye.